Welcome back to the Bronx Journal. I am your guest host, Trent Love. Joining us in the studio today are the producers of Open 2.0, an Emmy-nominated television program devoted to the youth of the Bronx. Michael Max Knobbe, Director of BronxNet, and Marisa White, BronxNet Youth Media Coordinator. Welcome to the show.
Good day, great day, Trent. Nice to be here in this beautiful studio on the campus of Lehman College.
Well, thanks for coming down. For the first thing I would like to know is, tell us about Open 2.0. How did it get started?
BronxNet is about multi-directional media. It's putting media tools in the hands of residents and students in the beautiful borough of hip-hop, universities, universals, the borough of the Bronx. BronxNet has trained thousands in media production and over 3,000 students, intermediate school, high school, and college students in media production. And we heard from our young people loud and clear that they need a voice, they need a channel that is theirs. So BronxNet has a channel by, for, and about young people dedicated 24/7 to our youth. It is channel 37 on Verizon Fios and soon to be a dedicated channel on Cablevision. We are 67 through 70 on Cablevision, and we are the first public access station in the nation to be on 6 channels. So with Verizon Fios. So we have developed with students, high school students throughout our borough, a program that is modeled after a magazine show we produce called Open, where we send our cameras out into the neighborhoods and they bring back stories about the people of the Bronx, as well as bring great people into our studios at BronxNet on the beautiful campus of Lehman College, so that people can share what's happening, events, opportunities, challenges to our communities. And you know what? Our students are working together in the BronxNet studios, producing shows, students from 6 different high schools, to write, to produce, to host, to report. And they're producing a program called Open 2.0 that is theirs. They work with our dynamic youth media coordinator, Marisa White, and our other BronxNet professionals and interns that are doing so many great things together and part of community building through media.
There's so much happening with BronxNet, and Open is a great show, and Open 2.0, wow. First year running, they're doing excellent, and they have earned an Emmy nomination, so congratulations to BronxNet for 4 Emmy nominations, and specifically Open 2.0 for getting one of those.
Thank you.
Now, you're welcome. Now, for those that don't know, you're Marisa White, you're the intern coordinator. How did you get involved with Open 2.0?
Well, Michael, was talking about the need for a show specifically for teens, and we modeled it after the Open show, so he asked me to get involved. And since I'm in charge of the intern program at BronxNet, we decided to put Open 2.0 as part of our internship program for teens. So the show is a spin-off of our internship program, a spin-off of the morning show, where we have anywhere from 25 to 30 teens working on Open 2.0, both in the studio and out in the field, producing packages as well.
That sounds like a solid program. They're all over. I've seen them interviewing all sorts of people.
The borough president, Ruben Diaz Jr. at the Bronx Food Summit about healthy eating choices, as well as doing cooking segments in the studio. These students are engaged. They're learning about the community, this place that we live. They're meeting elected leaders. They're interviewing their peers. They're interviewing community leaders, and they're learning about a rich borough that has so much to offer and sharing it with their peers and neighbors. At this on this show, it's what we do is multi-directional media. It's allowing our public to have a voice and to share in media, and we share it in a multi-platform way. So you can also see this program if you're not in the Bronx.
Oh, wow.
At BronxNet.org, our website, where we have video on demand and web streaming.
And it's important because they have things to say and they have interests, and they, the first thing I say to them when they come into the studio is, what's it like to be a teen in the Bronx? I haven't been a teen in the Bronx in a long time, so tell me, what is that like? What are you interested in? What's happening in your life? What's happening in school? And it's interesting because they're interested in the so-called adult things, like the Metro cards for students and talking to the BP about healthy eating, but also the fun things like interviewing a backup singer for Alicia Keys, who is from the Bronx. So we try to provide a good balance for them so that they're talking about important things, but also about things that interest them as well, because it's their voice, it's what they have to say. So we try to keep that balance with them.
So for either one of you, how does one get involved? Say a youth really is excited and are listening and looking right now. How would one get involved in being part of the show? What's the process?
We would ask them to contact us. Most of the time they come to us through their teachers, so the teachers will contact us or the principals will contact us. and we encourage them to be part of Open 2.0 because it is after school. So we meet on Monday and Wednesdays after school. It's a very short amount of time, but we do a lot of stuff in that short time. And we set them up with the internship. So it is part of our internship program, but it is their show. So the beauty of this is that we have 5 or 6 different schools that work on this show. And when they first come in, they're all sort of with their own groups. And then 3 or 4 weeks into it, you can't tell who goes to what school, who came in with whom. They actually exchange phone numbers. They get together outside of school. And the other biggest thing about this is that it really is helping their grades in school. I've had several teachers tell me that a few of the kids that came to us were doing poorly in school, not even showing up for classes. And as a result of this internship, grades are up and they're in school every day. Because that's the trade-off. You have to be doing well in school in order to be with us. So if I get a phone call from a teacher that you're cutting class, you can't be here. And they want to come. They want to work on this show. So I think it's teaching them to agree to disagree, how to get along with people they've never met before, how to interact with adults that are not their teachers.
Okay.
It's professional development skills, workforce development skills.
So we have all kinds of training and resources available at BronxNet. That much I know. So with the operations and the equipment and the technology available, what does their training process look like to be involved? Have they had any professional people come and train, whether they be from the community, volunteers? What's that look like?
We have an award-winning staff. I mean, production professionals that some of whom have trained at BronxNet while they were students and now are working at major networks, but they're still giving back to the community by participating in our training programs and our professional productions at BronxNet. So they are folks like Walter Garacoa, who is a BronxNet professional who started at BronxNet, 5-time Emmy Award winner. He's also nominated for 2 2011 National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences Emmy Awards.
That is incredible.
As part of his work with BronxNet, and he is one of the professionals that are working with the students, as well as many others, terrific trainers that have things to share about post-production, about editing, about on-air presentation, like Dean Meminger, who started at BronxNet but now is at New York One. There is a host of things to experience, whether you want to do new media, emerging media, or graphics, or on-air presentation, and any form of digital storytelling. We have an opportunity for you through formal workshops and hands-on experience in the studio and in the field.
Well, you guys are getting a lot of attention, definitely with Open 2.0 and the buzz and everything. Marisa, how has this changed the participants of Open 2.0 and BronxNet with this new nomination?
The energy is incredible. When we told the kids, this group of kids, we only have 2 of them that are from the original group. So it's the pilot episode that got the nomination that we aired last spring. But it's still the show. So when they come in and we tell them you're working on an Emmy-nominated show, the energy is unbelievable. They're hyped up about it. They're excited about it, and we are really thrilled that this show that we just developed. It's a new show. It's something that we knew that we could do for these kids, but to have it nominated and recognized, for me, is an amazing thing because it shows that it matters and it counts. I mean, we know that. We don't need to be told that, but to just get that little extra nudge of recognition is a really sweet thing. So the energy is incredible. They're very excited about it, and they like to be part of something larger than themselves. Right. All kids really want is to be heard, to be recognized, and to be taken seriously, and we take them seriously. Even when we don't want to be taking them seriously, we acknowledge that, okay, yeah, you have a point, but how can we develop this? So as Michael said, it's developing them. What my goal is for these kids is to get them to college. I want these kids to enroll in college and get to college, and then from there work on career development. For our college people that work with us and our interns, our goal is to give them these skills so that they can get that entry-level job. How do you get a job without experience? How do you get experience without a job?
Do we have any success stories that
we have a lot of success
stories?
We have people at New York One. We have people at ABC. We have people at ESPN. One of our camera people came waving in his offer letter from ESPN studio camera. Two people are there.
That is
so they
and they're Lehman College alum, some of them as well. And it's BET, it's major networks, but it's also film industry professionals now. That's like Michael Baez, who's now got a deal with Lionsgate, and he's doing feature films, and he's got production companies on both coasts. So it's, this is contributing to the creative economy as well. It's allowing people to start because they've had an opportunity to work with technology and professional production equipment and have some guidance. It's where things can start.
Well, we're running out of time, so I just want to ask one quick question. What next? I'm so excited and proud. I've known that Open 2.0 started at a time when there was not much public access people doing too much to engage the youth and give them a voice. You've accomplished so much, congratulations, but in the last remaining minutes, what next?
We have so many great people, and all they need is that opportunity, the training, the technology, the tools, and the channels, the forum to share the ideas. So right now, I'm about to go to meet newly certified public access producers, residents of the Bronx that have taken training at BronxNet, have gotten certified, and now they can use the production equipment, the studios, and the field production equipment for free to put on their own program, to share their ideas, to engage in community building through media. What is next is upgrading our technologies here on the beautiful campus of Lehman College. We are also looking, and we want to make sure, and to work with you to make sure that our channels are treated like any other channel on the cable lineup. On the basic tier, if you have channels going high definition and are interactive, well, you know what, your channels, BronxNet in the Bronx, they need not be discriminated against. They should be high definition with functionality for people to interact from home or wherever you may experience your channels, your community media. So this is a great open work, and it is yours. What you can expect to see are constellation sites connecting to the BronxNet studios and network operations on the beautiful campus of Lehman College in the South Bronx and in the East Bronx. But we need your help. We need you to let your voice be heard and send a message of support for community media, for independent voices, for your media access rights by just simply visiting BronxNet.org.
Thank you.
And signing the e-petition. Signing an e-petition takes less than a minute. You enter your zip code if you live in the Bronx. If you don't live in the Bronx, know that you have friends and family in the Bronx that can do the same. And you send a message to all your elected officials on the state, city, and borough-wide level that public access is important, and media access rights for Bronxites is important.
That is great. And I'm sorry we're out of time, but Marisa, why don't you give us some information on how we can contact and find out more about BronxNet and Open 2.0?
Well, you can visit our website, BronxNet.org. There's a spot on there for internships. There's an Open 2.0 link there. You click on, my email is there, my contact information is there. We invite every youth in the Bronx, students. We want our high school people to come and be participants in this show. We do important work for our community. We are giving these kids a voice. And we are effective with these kids.
And I'll add one other thing.
And successful with these kids.
One of the programs that's very much resonating with our young people, and really across the whole region with general audiences, is a show that we do, Bronx Flavor, with Baron Ambrosia, where we show the flavors of the world or in the streets in the Bronx through a culinary adventure. This program has also been nominated for a New York Emmy in terms of musical composition.
Okay, well, I'm sorry we're out of time. I see that we can do so much more, but Michael Max Knobbe and Marisa White, thank you for coming to the Bronx Journal.